Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh yeah.
And we're live. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Heather. I play bass for Shallow Point from Knoxville, Tennessee.
So, how did you guys get the name of the band?
We basically chose it from it's basically derived from like a shallow side of life, the bad side of life that I can't find the word I'm looking for. The depressing side of life.
Okay. All right. Since we're on that topic, kind of a deep question. What do you want to leave as your legacy?
Definitely want to leave music as our legacy.
Anything
I think
personal?
that's personal, like as in stuff, or
No, meaning yourself, not as just as a band.
like a song. Um, I I hope at least to leave some um, inspiration behind for women musicians, because it's not very easy to be a female in the music business these days. So that's kind of something I'd personally like to do for people.
Do you have any advice for any females that are trying to come up?
My biggest advice would probably be just to not give up. I mean, just keep pushing and keep learning and be determined about it, because seems like there's nowhere to go but up if you do. I mean, you're not going to keep going down if as long as you're trying. So that's probably my thing I would say to people.
Who got you into playing music in general?
Oh, that would be my mother. She was a rock singer for a rock band when I was growing up, and of course I admired her, and she is my biggest hero still. And her band needed a bass player, and like at the spur of the moment, and I was about 16, I think, and I got thrown on the bass guitar. They're like, hey, let's get her to play bass guitar, and so that's what I did. And I learned really fast, came really natural to me, and I loved it, so I just kept playing it. Still play it. Guess I'll always play it.
If you could pick your own bill, who would you want on it?
Oh, that's a good question. Like, as in for our band to play with?
Yes.
Oh, I would probably choose Rammstein. Or I also like Breaking Benjamin a lot. I think of who else. Like Bush. I like Metallica. So any of those bands would be amazing to play with. But we've basically have sort of played with Breaking Benjamin on a festivals, but not like right, on the same stage and stuff like that. So if I was going to tour, I would think that would be a fun one to be on.
So, what is the best part about being a musician and the worst part?
Oh, the best part is I like people. So I enjoy meeting people and talking to people. Obviously, I like to play music. Music is like something that just releases you from everything for the however long you're playing it. You don't think about all the everyday garbage, and oh, that would probably be my two biggest reasons for playing music.
Do you have any rituals or anything you do before you go on stage?
Um, I like to kind of find a quiet place so I can gather my thoughts because I'm blonde and I'm really forgetful and stuff. So I like to kind of go over the music in my head, and I will warm my fingers up and stuff sometimes playing backstage before I, actually play. Um, that's probably my biggest things I do.
All right, this is a fun question here. Last Supper scenario. Who's your 12 people at your table? All musicians and one female.
Oh gosh, that's a hard one. I would obviously choose the whole Ramstein band. I'm a huge fan of them. And as far as a female, um, probably Sean from Rob Zombie.
Okay.
She, I really always liked her. And I honestly have Gene Simmons there too because I think he would be a trip. And I've always admired Gene Simmons. I just think he's a marketing genius, I mean, you can sell anything with Kiss on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's awesome. And then he plays bass and he's theatrical. I like a lot about him. Trying to think of who else I would like. I like a lot of 80s bands too. I'd probably even like Guns N' Roses there. I think that would be super cool. Um, and Metallica. Yeah, why not,
And what would you be serving?
Hmm. Probably grill out steaks and chicken and just lots of good stuff. Asparagus and Brussels sprouts and corn on the cob. Oh, and potatoes. Yeah, there's got to be potatoes. We're from the South, so.
If you were on a desert island, you can only bring 5 CDs with you, and of course, you'll have a CD player. What 5 CDs would that be,
Oh,
and why?
obviously Ramstein again because I'm just a big fan of them. I like corn a lot. I'd probably take some corn CDs. Let's see. And I still really enjoy Metallica. Um, I'm trying to think of who else. Like I said, I like 80s music too. I would be happy with some Bon Jovi. Um, and uh, honestly, I like Seven Dust. I like Hell Yeah. How many CDs did you say I could have?
I said 5, but we can go longer.
Okay, that'll be it.
So, what kind of bass do you play now?
Right now, I play a Schecter Devil Tribal, and I've had it for quite a while. It's my favorite bass. I have a new Schecter, and I can't remember the name of it right off. It's brand new. I got it for Christmas, and I can't remember the name of it. But basically, I play Schecters. They're my favorites.
Do you still have the first one you've ever owned?
No, unfortunately, I don't. I had oh my gosh, it was a Court headless bass, I believe, was my first one. And then I had a BC Rich Warlock was my second one.
Out of all your songs, which one do you love playing live more than others?
Uh,
I know they're all your babies, but
I like playing Haze a lot. Um, I also like Self Inflicted. It's a fun one to play. And Fractured. Those are my favorite ones.
so what was your best fan moment and your worst fan moment?
My best fan moment. Um, that's a really hard one. I can't really think of anything like that was that's ever been bad. Um, now I'm a big fan of bands myself, so like when I meet bands, I'm always like a big stupid fangirl, you know. I mean, like it depends on who I meet, but we met Hell Yeah once, and that was a lot of fun. That was probably one of our biggest nights, funnest nights. But pretty much everywhere we go, we meet people, and um, I really don't. I can't think of anything that really stands out, to tell you the truth.
Any embarrassing moments on stage?
Oh, probably the worst that's ever happened to me is I occasionally jump on my cord and unplug myself. I've done that many times.
Okay. Have you ever fell off stage?
No, thank God, no.
So if you had a writer, what would you have in your dressing room?
What would I have in my dressing room?
Yes, if you had your own writer that would get you anything you wanted.
Writer, as in like a music writer?
Meaning assistant. Meaning a person that
Oh.
say you wanted blue gummy bears, you had to have blue gummy bears.
Oh, okay. I would probably have pizza.
Just pizza?
Yeah, maybe um maybe a screwdriver.
Meaning the drink or the tool?
Drink.
Okay.
Pizza and a screwdriver. I mean, like, what more better can there be?
So I do this every episode. You can flip it on me. You can ask me anything.
How did you get into what you're doing with the show?
Conversation at a karaoke bar.
Nice. You have fun doing it?
Oh yes, it's one of my biggest passions.
That's good. I think it would be fun.
You get to talk to people from all over the world. What's better than that?
Yeah, and meet people. It's a good way to meet people, too.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone locked. I had a question in my phone. Is there any other instrument you can play?
I can play keyboards. Took a lot of piano lessons as a kid, and but I don't play it much anymore. I can play drums. I'm not real good at it, but I really enjoy it. Actually, maybe getting ready to fill in on some drums for a friend of mine at some of her shows. Um, I played saxophone as a kid, but I couldn't play that no more probably if I wanted to. That's about it. I don't play regular guitar. It's got way too many strings for me.
Too many strings.
Yeah, as you can see, I have a silly sense of humor.
So you can pick two songs here. If you had to send two songs to somebody to describe you as a person, what would they be?
Me as a person. I hate this because I don't like describing myself. um, Gosh, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. There's nothing dumb enough out there to be describe me.
Okay, so if you could you pick one song if you that always played when you walked into a room?
Oh, I don't know why I draw a blank on these things. Um, I can't think of a song right now. Save my life. It's been a long day.
Mhm.
And I've for some reason been listening to 80s music this week too. So like all I've listened to is like love ballads.
Okay, speaking of that, then what's your favorite love ballad?
Oh, hold on a minute. Phone's ringing. I'm trying to remember the name of the song that I really this as far as it's like a serious love ballad. It's oh my gosh. I can't remember the name of the song. I just heard it the other day. Um God, I don't know. I'm sorry. Just can't remember the name of it. It was I can't even remember the name of the band.
We're going 80s, so that could be anybody.
Yes, it could be. And I've been listening to a lot of it lately for some reason. My Pandora's been stuck on it, so that's what I've heard a lot of lately. I think that's confused my mind from what it is I really listen to.
Do you have a muse at all? Somebody
No, not
that inspires you to play?
really. I mean, I would say it would probably be Gene Simmons, just like I was telling you earlier, because he's so theatrical and he's a simple bass player, but yeah, he's just really cool, um, and he's obviously very like good with the marketing for the band and stuff like that. He's probably always been one of my favorite bass players.
As a patron, have you ever walked out of a show?
No, I've never done that before. I'm not easily offended. Like, there's not much that somebody could say or do that would really bother me. So, no, I've never done that before. And I would say that now we saw Guns N' Roses a long time ago, and I think we had to wait like an hour on Axel to get there and join the band and sing. That was a little annoying, but that's the only time I ever really remember being annoyed by anything anybody's ever done. So, you know,
I'm actually not to say a big fan, but that's one of the reasons why I've never seen them live yet.
yeah,
Because you don't know if it's gonna happen. You spend the money
yeah,
and it does not show up, or he does
yeah,
2 songs and walks away.
yeah. And they were really bad about it when they were younger, you know.
Yeah.
So,
What was your first concert ever?
my first concert ever was David Lee Roth.
Really?
Not actually Van Halen, but David Lee Roth. And my mom took me when I was a kid. And I remember it was so loud. I was like, just, I was kind of like in shock. But yeah, I was a kid, and she took me to see him at an arena, big arena show. It was really good though.
If you had an option to play anywhere in the world right now, where would it be?
I kind of think Canada would be a fun place to go. Um, and we actually have met a lot of people over there just through social media. And I've actually met friends from over there too. So I think I've always thought Canada would probably be somewhere we'd like to go eventually.
If you weren't playing music, what would you be doing with your life?
Oh, that's a good question because, having gone through the whole pandemic thing, um, it was almost 2 years before we really played a show again. And at that point, the band, we almost just gave it up um, because it was already hard enough as it was, and now it's even harder. But I had a lot of time to think about it, and there was absolutely nothing else I'd rather do with myself. Nothing. I mean, just nothing compares to it. So, yeah.
So, what is the feeling on just being on stage? Is it
Um,
still nerve? Is it still? Do you still have nerves before you go on, or
I don't really. I've been doing this a long time, and I was fortunate when I was a kid. My parents had me in ballet, and so I was on pretty big stages as a young kid. So I've been in front of people for pretty much my whole life. So it's never really bothered me, you know, like it probably does some people.
what's the best advice you ever given?
Hmm. Um, my biggest thing is probably to follow your own advice because I never ever follow my own advice, but I give a lot of advice.
Yeah,
So
I don't either.
that's, yeah, I never follow my own advice. And I've realized lately, I'm like, I don't, I should be doing what I'm saying to other people, but I don't. So that would probably be the biggest thing.
If you could go back in time and write yourself a letter at age 15, to give yourself now, what would it say?
If I could go back now, I would probably have told myself to get more serious about music way sooner because, I mean, I feel like I wasted a lot of my life when I was younger that could have been spent on, you know, music and the band. Um, there's not much really that I can think of very much different that I would have done with my life, though. So that'd probably be it.
I know you've been on an 80s kick, but if you can make a, I know it's not a mixed CD anymore, but if you can make a mixed CD to send to somebody, who are your top five on that CD? Just give me the band's names if you don't know the.
I would introduce people to Ramstein if they've never heard of them. I would put them on there. Ah, trying to think of who else. I like to introduce people to kind of newer bands that they don't know, you know. But I'm bad with names, so I have to like literally go look at things to to remember names. Obviously, everybody that knows me knows I'm bad with names. I'm bad with movie names, band names, people names. So I can't think of anything else. Imagine that.
All right, if you could be an object, any object in the world, what would it be, and why?
If I could be an object,
Yes.
hmm. Uh, I don't know. Maybe a bird. At least I could fly.
What kind of bird?
Mm, maybe like an eagle. I fly like an eagle. Yep, that's it.
So, what do you guys have in the works at the moment?
Right now, we're working on new music and a new video. We're trying to at least get a new EP together. Um, we have we have a lot of new songs, but we probably won't record but maybe 4 or 5 or 6 of those. Um, and then we're working on a music video for an older song that we did called Complicate. And we do have a show coming up the end of June with Hinder in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay, cool.
And other than that, I'll probably look around for a couple of more shows this summer. Um, we really like to get out as far as we can because, you know, we've kind of played Tennessee. So, um, yeah, we'll be looking around for some more shows. But other than that, that's about all we got going on at the moment. Things are still kind of weird with the pandemic stuff. And the last shows we played, the turnouts were still not real good. So I think that people are still kind of staying home right now. I don't know. So kind of backed off of the show stuff for the moment and just working on new music, you know.
If you could change anything in the industry, what would it be?
If I could change things in the industry, I would. Oh, there would be so many things I would change. First of all, I don't know about you, but I love all the old big bands, but I'm sick of them. it's time that there's some new music come out from new bands. They are really, really bad about letting new people in, you know. And now, generally, we've done a lot. I can't say we haven't. We've done some amazing stuff, but still, like, you know, as far as radio airplay, Sirius XM, stuff like that, it's really hard to get on. And I think that there's going to have to be a point where they just let new people in, you know? That would be the biggest thing I would change.
So by you, is it? Do they have what do you call it? Pay to play, or is it you're just on the bill?
It just depends on what it is you're doing. Like this Hinder show, they actually are paying us, so you know that's a good thing. Obviously, there's a whole lot of pay to play out there. I I don't mind that sort of stuff if it's, you know, something big enough to be worth it, because I mean, if you think about what you spend for advertising for a band, can spend $1,000 on Facebook ads. You know what I mean? So as far as putting your band in front of, um, you know, huge amounts of people at a festival or something like that for the same kind of money, I mean, it makes sense to me. It just depends on the circumstances, you know. And it's sad that it has to be that way. I mean, seriously, everybody should be paid, but it's just not the way it works anymore. So,
Do you enjoy playing festivals over intimate, like small?
honestly, I like the festivals because the turnouts are much larger, obviously. So you're setting your band down in front of a lot of people that like that kind of music. That makes sense, you know, for a band. But personally, they're really hot. I mean, 100 degrees out in the sun, you know, and I'd rather play a smaller venue any day. One with a good sound system.
Do you have any messages for your fans?
Um, Nothing other than that. To be looking for some new music and some new videos. We do have a new lineup of people. The guitarist is Josh Kelsey. He's new, as is Matt, or well, let me see, Jet Bobo. That's his internet name. And I think our new music will probably be a little bit harder than some of the past music. So, but it won't be, you know, so far off that it doesn't sound like us, you know. So.
So where can you be followed?
You can follow me on Facebook. It's Heather Shallow-Point, or we're on Instagram, Shallow-Point Official. Of course, our band Facebook page is Shallow-Point, and Twitter is Shallow-Point1. I'm trying to get us on TikTok and Snapchat and a few other things, but I really don't like those. I don't like them very much.
So where can they find your merch?
Oh, shallowpointofficial.com. And also our record label has stuff on theirs too. It's rflrecords.com.
I would like to thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
And I hope you have a great night.
You too. It's nice to meet you. Maybe we'll meet in person sometime.
Yeah. Have a great night.
All right. Thanks. Good night.